ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाखया चक्षुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मायं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सहगजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखां स्वितंश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकास स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती इति नामिने श्रीवृषभानवी देवी दायिताय कृपद्भये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमाद्या श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरा करुणाशक्तिविग्रहाय नमोऽस्तुते नामस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगविरुद्ध अपसिद्धान्तध्वान्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्ब रसाम्बोधे पदम्बुजाय ते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय ते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं तीर्थेन्द्रसज्जनप्रिया वैष्णवसर्वभौमो देवी जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वञ्चकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते जायतां सुरतोर्पङ्गुर्मम मन्दा मतिर्गतिर्मत्सर्वस्य पदं भोजो राधा मदनमोहनो दिव्याद्विन्दारण्यकल्पधूमदौ श्रीमद्रत्नागरसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधाशीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्ठाल्यभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वांसि वट तथा स्थितः कर्शनवेणुस्वनिर्गोपी नाथ गोपीर्गोपीनाथ स्त्रियस्तुना तप्त कंचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः नरसिंहा जय नरसिंहा जय जय नरसिंहा प्रह्लादेश जय पद्मा मुख पद्मा भृंगा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे यस प्रभु जी वृंदावन चंद्र प्रभु कृष्ण केशव प्रभु
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू
Pranam, pranam.
Dandavats. So I have put 1995. We can do yesterday like you can finish first 30 or I can do whatever you suggest, Prabhuji.
Yeah, uh, I'll read it first, and then we'll run some polls, and then you can continue.
बहुत अच्छा. I am giving the control to you, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sorry, I did not notice you were there.
I just came when you are reading Mangalacharan. Somehow other the system was not working.
Over to you.
So continuing the reading, My Memories of Srila Prabhupada, written by His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami, the Vyasa Puja offering section, year 1995. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे. Srila Prabhupada was always writing, speaking, and singing about Krishna, remaining absorbed in his service in full ecstasy and realization. By his mercy, we can also write, speak, and sing for Krishna and engage in his and Srila Prabhupada's service. On his order, we do as he did, but our writing, singing, and serving cannot compare to his, for Prabhupada's purity and realization far surpass our own. Therefore, therefore, for these years Vyasa Puja, I am offering a collection of Prabhupada's writings and sayings. Although Srila Prabhupada spoke on a variety of subjects, all connected to Krishna and Krishna consciousness, I have chosen a topic particularly relevant at the present time: Srila Prabhupada's explanation of his own unique position. Srila Prabhupada was the ideal of a pure devotee. Although his achievements in Krishna's service were unprecedented and inimitable, he remained humble and gave the credit to his spiritual master. Still, considering our rascal tendency to be misled by bluffers and cheaters, Srila Prabhupada sometimes delineated his actual position, that he is the special representative of Lord Chaitanya, a Satya Aves avatar, and the only true disciple of his Guru. Just as Lord Chaitanya sometimes behaved like a common man and sometimes manifested his godly opulence, reference Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya chapter 8 verse 93. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada sometimes clearly let us know that he was a special devotee sent by Lord Chaitanya to spread his name all over the world. As Srila Prabhupada explains in his purport to Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 25, verse 9, quoted below, by sincere study and appreciation of the personal characteristics of devotees, we can understand who is actually authorized and especially empowered. As Ganga is offered to Ganga, I offer the following quotes for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and the enlightenment of his followers. If one can saw quote if one saw the personal characteristics and activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one would certainly be convinced that he was the supreme personality of Godhead. One can ascertain these by following in the footsteps of the sastric injunctions. This sincere study and appreciation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also applicable to his authorized devotees, and it is clearly stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila, 7th chapter, 11th verse. Kali kalera dharma Krishna nama sankirtan Krishna sakti vina naye tar pravartan. In this age of Kali, real religious propaganda should induce people to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is possible for someone who is especially empowered by Krishna. No one can do this without being especially favored by Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments in this regard in his Anubhashya, wherein he quotes a verse from Narayana Samhita, Dvaparer Janer Vishnu Pancharatraistu Kevalai Kalotu Nama Matrena Pujyate Bhagavan Harihi. In Dwapar Yuga, devotees of Lord Vishnu and Krishna rendered devotional service according to the principles of Pancharatra. In this age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped simply by the chanting of his names. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur then comments, without being empowered by the direct potency of Lord Krishna to fulfill his desire, and without being specifically favored by the Lord, no human being can become the spiritual master of the whole world. He certainly cannot succeed by mental concoction, which is not meant for devotees or religious people. Only an empowered personality can distribute the holy name of the Lord and enjoin all the fallen souls to worship Krishna. By the Lord, by distributing the holy name of the Lord, he cleanses the hearts of the most fallen people. Therefore, he extinguishes the blazing fire of the material world. Not only that, he broadcasts the shining brightness of Krishna's effulgence throughout the world. Such an acharya or spiritual master should be considered non different from Krishna. That is, he should be considered the incarnation of Lord Krishna's potency. Such a personality is Krishnan Lingita Vigraha. That is, he is always embraced by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Such a person is above the considerations of the Varnashram institution. He is the guru or spiritual master for the entire world, a devotee on the topmost platform, the Mahabhagavat stage, and a Paramahamsa Thakur, a spiritual form only fit to be addressed as Paramahamsa or Thakur. Nonetheless, there are many people who are just like owls but never open their eyes to see the sunlight. These owlish personalities are inferior to the Mayavadi sannyasis who cannot see the brilliance of Krishna's favor upon the Mahabhagavat devotee. They are prepared to criticize the person engaged in distributing the holy name all over the world and following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who wanted Krishna consciousness preached in every town and city. Chaitanya Chaitamut Madhya Lila, 25th chapter, 9th verse purport. A new quote. When Skin Pruthu is described as an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, it should be understood that he is a Sakyaves avatar, part and parcel of Lord Vishnu, and is specifically empowered by him. Any living being acting as the incarnation of Lord Vishnu is thus empowered by Lord Vishnu to preach the bhakti cult. Such a person can act like Lord Vishnu and defeat demons by arguments and preach the bhakti cult exactly according to the principles of Shastra. As indicated in Bhagavad Gita, whenever we find someone extraordinary preaching the bhakti cult, we should know that he is especially empowered by Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. As confirmed in Chaitanya Chaitamrita Antyalila, chapter 7, verse 11, Krishna Sakti Vina Nahe Tar Pravartan. One cannot explain the glories of the holy name of the Lord without being specifically empowered by him. If one criticizes or finds fault with such an empowered personality, one is to be considered an offender against Lord Vishnu and is punishable. Even though such offenders may dress as Vaishnavas with false tilak and mala, they are never forgotten, they are never forgiven by the Lord if they offend a pure Vaishnava. There are many instances of this in the Shastra. Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 19th chapter, verse 37. A devotee, by his personal devotional service, can influence all the people of the world, all the people of the whole world to become devotees of the Lord. If there is only one pure devotee in pure Krishna consciousness, he can change the total consciousness of the world into Krishna consciousness. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.8.80 purport. Just as Krishna does not take a step away from Vrindavan, Krishna's devotee also does not like to leave Vrindavan. However, when he has to tend to Krishna's business, he leaves Vrindavan. After finishing his mission, a pure devotee returns home, back to Vrindavan, back to Godhead. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 13, verse 156, purport. When a Vaishnava comes, when God Himself comes, or when God's sons or His very confidential devotees come, their only mission is to save sinful men who are suffering. They have knowledge of how to do this. Science of Self Realization, page number 7. Translation. O my worshipable Lord, because the seed of lusty desires, which is the root cause of material existence, is within the core of everyone's heart, you have sent me to this material world to exhibit the symptoms of a pure devotee. Purport. The Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has given considerable discussion about Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha devotees. Nitya Siddha devotees come from Vaikuntha to this material world to teach by their personal example how to become a devotee. The living entities in this material world can take lessons from such Nitya Siddha devotees and thus become inclined to return home back to Godhead. A Nitya Siddha devotee comes from Vaikuntha upon the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and shows by his example how to become a pure devotee. Anya Bhilashita Shunyam. In spite of coming to this material world, the Nitya Siddha devotee is never attracted by the allurements of the material enjoyment. A perfect example is Prahlad Maharaj, who was a Nitya Siddha, a Mahabhagavat devotee. Although Prahlad was born in the family of Hiranyakasipu, an atheist, he was never attached to any kind of materialistic enjoyment. Desiring to exhibit the symptoms of a pure devotee, the Lord tried to induce Prahlad Maharaj to take material benedictions, but Prahlad Maharaj did not accept them. On the contrary, by his personal example, he showed the symptoms of a pure devotee. In other words, the Lord Himself has no desire to send His pure devotee to this material world, nor does a devotee have any material purpose in coming. When the Lord Himself appears as an incarnation within this material world, He is not allured by the material atmosphere and He has nothing to do with material activity. Yet, by His example, He teaches the common man how to become a devotee. Similarly, a devotee who comes here in accordance with the order of the Supreme Lord shows by his personal behavior how to become a pure devotee. A pure devotee, therefore, is a practical example for all living entities, including Lord Brahma. Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 10th chapter, 3rd verse, purport. Just as a condemned person can be relieved by a special favor of the chief executive head, the president or king, so the condemned people of this Kali Yuga can be delivered only by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself or a person especially empowered for this purpose. Chaitanya Chaitamrit Adilila, chapter 13, text 69, purport. Sometimes the Lord, as the child of Mother Yashoda, requests his devotee for some food as if he were very hungry. Sometimes he tells his devotee in a dream that his temple and his garden are now very old and that he cannot enjoy them very nicely. Thus, he requests the devotee to repair them. Sometimes he is buried in the earth, and as if unable to come out himself, he requests his devotees to rescue him. Sometimes he requests his devotee to preach his glories all over the world, although he alone is quite competent to perform this task. Even though the Supreme Personality of Godhead is endowed with all possessions and is self sufficient, he depends on his devotees. Therefore, the relationship of the Lord with his devotees is extremely confidential. Only the devotee can perceive how the Lord, although full in himself, depends on his devotee for some particular work. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita 11.33, where the Lord tells Arjuna, Nimitta matram bhavasave sachin. O Arjuna, merely be an instrument in the fight. Lord Krishna had the competence to win the battle of Kurukshetra, but nonetheless, he induced his devotee Arjuna to fight and become the cause of victory. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was quite competent enough to spread his name and mission all over the world, but still he depended upon his devotee to do this work. Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 19th chapter, 5th verse, purport. Unquote. Let us remember, let us always remember that ISKCON is not just another movement. It is Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's movement, meant for fulfilling Lord Chaitanya's inner desire to save the world. As Srila Prabhupada writes in his concluding words to his Chaitanya Charitamrita commentary, this Krishna consciousness movement has been started to fulfill the desire of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Because Srila Prabhupada had sent percent faith in the words of his spiritual master, he was uniquely successful in spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. If we have similar faith in Srila Prabhupada's words and try to follow the unequaled and unsurpassed example he set of tirelessly working to propagate Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement, we shall achieve all success in our own spiritual endeavors and properly serve our glorious founder Acharya. Submitted by the worst of your disciples, Bhakti Vikas Swami. Year 1996. Dear Srila Prabhupada, Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Srila Prabhupada, you wanted your sannyasis to do big things, make more disciples than me, write more books than me, open more temples than me. To fulfill even one of these dictums seems for me almost impossible. But the challenge is realizable. I don't want to do anything cheaply, in an imitative way. but I do want to please you. The preaching field is open. There are hundreds and thousands of towns and villages throughout the world, and Lord Chaitanya wants his name chanted in every one of them. Millions of people are eager to know about Krishna. Only they don't know yet. They have still to be woken up by your Sankirtan soldiers who go to every human habitation on the planet bringing your books, your message, your mercy. You said people would come to us in the millions. They will have to be trained, protected, guided, and nourished. You have given us many lifetimes of work, but time is short and our strength is limited. Therefore, on this most auspicious occasion of your centennial Vyasa Puja, I am falling at your lotus feet and begging for the mercy to dive deeply into the ocean of preaching ecstasy. May my efforts to serve you expand geometrically every year. Let me do something significant in your great mission of spreading Krishna consciousness to every home and every heart. एकाकी आमार नाही पाए बल हरिनाम संकीर्तने तुम्ही कृपा करी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देह कृष्ण नाम धने. I do not find the strength to carry on alone Sankirtan of the holy name of Hari. Please bless me by giving me just one. Please bless me by giving just one. Sorry for a little disturbance. I think the file is a little bit heavy, so somewhere, but it's taking a little more time than usual. Trying to jump to the next page also, it's not allowing. That I know, but we are trying to jump to the. Okay, then let's just wait to see if something moves. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Drop of faith with which to obtain the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. Your eternal servant Bhakti Vikas Swami. Year 1997, Prabhupada Gems. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे. Srila Prabhupada, as the ideal guru, you were always giving knowledge to human society. Tirelessly writing and speaking, you gave all kinds of valuable instructions, phenomenal and numerous, economic, political, psychological, medical, scientific, and of course spiritual. All siddhantas, all tattvas, everything is there, complete for redirecting human society back to the lotus feet of Krishna. Apart from your formally written books, we also have books of your conversations, letters, and lectures. Plus, many devotees are writing their remembrance of you. All of this is like a huge mine of nectar where any number of devotional scholars can go and happily extract valuable gems. Personally, I take great pleasure in again and again reading your books and again speaking their message to others. I have also set myself at least one lifetime's work of writing books based on your books, endeavoring to give guidance on particular topics in a systematic way. As I go on mining the nectar from your books, I marvel at your dedication, ever correctness, cutting analysis, and as it is, kick in the face frankness. By enlightening me with knowledge, you gave me a reason to live. Even now, you continue to save me by speaking to me from your books. Your words seethe my mind and keep my Krishna consciousness alive. As I read on and on, my gratitude to you is ever increasing. Another marvel is your allowing me to take part in the great global mission of giving these gems to others. Like a greedy man, I go on extracting gems to add to my already voluminous collection. But I am not like a miser, for there is no pleasure in that. I am more like a research student eager to share these valuable discoveries with others. One way I assist in spreading your message is by writing books based on your directions and decorated with gems from your teachings. Srila Prabhupada, your books are complete and perfect and are available to all. Nevertheless, you instructed your disciples, especially the sannyasis, to write. My disciples will write purports to my books. You said. Undoubtedly, our writings must be based on yours, Srila Prabhupada, or they will have no potency, meaning, or value. What else do we know anyway? At the very least, our writings will be for self purification. And if you so want to use your disciples, their books may also be valuable guides to human society. As all I have is what you have given me, here are a few gems offered respectfully back to you to be shared with your ever increasing family of appreciative devotees. Quote, Krishna also becomes very beautiful. He is already beautiful, but when a devotee serves him, a devotee comes to him, he also becomes very beautiful. A devotee, when with his heart and soul serves Krishna in dressing him, in feeding him, in giving him flower, he becomes smiling. And if you can get Krishna once smiling upon you, your life is fulfilled. Lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 25th verse, 25th chapter, 12th verse, Bombay, 12th November 1974. Modern civilization is centered around animal killing. Karmis are advertising that without eating meat, their vitamin value or vitality will be reduced. So, to keep oneself fit to work hard, one must eat meat. And to digest meat, one must drink liquor. And to keep the balance of drinking wine and eating meat, one must have sufficient sexual intercourse to keep fit to work very hard like an ass. Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 27th chapter, 11th verse, purport. There is no difficulty in coming in contact with the Supreme Lord. Koti Prayashaha. On the other hand, going to hell requires great endeavor. If one wants to go to hell by illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication, he must acquire so many things. For illicit sex, he must arrange for money for brothels. For meat eating, he must arrange for many slaughterhouses. For gambling, he must arrange for casinos and hotels. And for intoxication, he must open many breweries. Clearly, therefore, if one wants to go to hell, he must endeavor very much. But if he wants to return home back to Godhead, there is no difficult endeavor. To go back to Godhead, one may live alone anywhere, in any condition, and simply sit down, meditate upon the super soul, and chant and hear about the Lord. Thus, there is no difficulty in approaching the Lord. Adanta Gobir Vishatam Tamishram. Because of inability to control the senses, one must go through great endeavor to go to hell. But if one is sensible, he can very easily obtain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Lord is always with him. Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 7th chapter, verse 38 purport. You are okay. I am okay. Our proposal is not that. Our proposal is you are not okay. I am okay. Lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 1st chapter, 9th verse, Los Angeles, 22nd June 1975. They will never surrender. This is the sign of demon. They will never surrender. They will be killed. They will go to hell. They will accept all the thing. But still, if you ask him that you surrender to, no, that is demoniac. Lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 5th chapter, 8th verse, New Vrindavan, 24th May 1969. So you have taken to the vow of Krishna consciousness. Try to preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. And we have got little success. One politician in USA, he has remarked that this Krishna consciousness movement is increasing like an epidemic. He has said that, and if we do not check it, one day it may take our government. He has opined that so any intelligent man can know what is the ultimate result, because mass of people, if they take to Krishna consciousness, then government is yours. That is a fact. And if the Krishna consciousness movement government is there, No meat eating, no smoking, no illicit sex, so many no's. The demons will die. Lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 7th chapter, 47th verse, Vrindavan, 6 October 1976. Some rascals put forward the theory that an animal has no soul or is something like dead stone. In this way, they rationalize that there is no sin in animal killing. Actually, animals are not dead stone, but the killers of animals are stone hearted. Consequently, no reason or philosophy appeals to them. Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, 26th chapter, 9th verse purport. Guest, I have noticed when everyone touches their head to the floor, and this I find so disturbing, indistinct. Another man and kiss their boots. I found that indistinct. And to tell you frankly, I find it quite shocking too that people place their head on the ground before another man. And you are a man like that. You are a man of knowledge, and you are, but yet I can't see your people their heads to the floor. Prabhupada, you have been asked to do that? Guess. Nobody asked me, but I see everybody else does it. Prabhupada, then why you are feeling so disturbed? Guest, because to me, people are people, and there is no man is a god, and that's just appearing as if you were. Prabhupada, but as you are thinking that they should not, they are thinking that you should. Laughter. As you are thinking they should not do like that, they are thinking you must do that. Then what is it? Difference of opinion. Your vote is single, and there are so many. So you have to follow the greatest majority vote. Lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, 9th chapter, 10th verse, Montreal, 14th July 1968. He, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, lives forever by his divine instruction, and the follower lives with him. Dedication to Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada, please accept me as your servant forever. Dasa Bhas Bhakti Vikas Swami. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So, Damodar Amsidhari Prabhu, please continue from here. Actually, I wanted to run some posts, but there was no time to make one. So, you can continue from here. And I have a little bit of service, so uh, I will log out,
Yes,
and you can make announcement at the end for the books.
I will.
And hmm,
I will.
and
If you can just Prabhuji for the books, and then
yeah,
I will take it
so
over.
yeah, so dear devotees who are attending this program of online reading uh, books of His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, uh, couple of devotees have come forward uh, of sponsoring the copies of My Memories of Srila Prabhupada. If you like to take this book, if you need this book, and if you do not have any financial arrangement for that, or if you know devotees in your group or circle in your place who like to take this book, but if they need some assistance in finance, so a couple of devotees have come forward sponsoring the copies of My Memories of Srila Prabhupada. Please write to us at books@pbks.com, the email ID, official email ID of Bhakti Vikas Trust. I am adding here on the chat bot. You can contact us there, and I am also providing our WhatsApp number, so you can also require if required you can write there, contact us there, and we will help you out in providing the book. And if you like to order a copy yourself, you can go to our website books at the rate bbks books.bbks.com, and you will get all the details there. Thank you very much for attending these reading sessions, and we hope that you all are spiritually enlivened by this endeavor. And we hope that you continue with this effort of reading books online. We are planning to read many books of Maharaj one after another. So, thank you. Damodam Siddharipur will continue here on. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Bindavan Chandra Prabhu. One of the things Prabhu says is we should, distribute books in bunches of bananas. So buy also as well as distribute. So that's one thing which I, because of my background, like typically, let's not think of one book, two book, or one devotee, two devotee. Let's try to think of communities, villages,
Yeah,
schools.
Srila Prabhupada wanted us to think big,
Yeah.
make
So,
more disciples than me, make more temples than me. Just we just read that.
yeah. So my sincere request to all of you is, take think of cases, like think of sets, and then if we just stand there, my personal realizations, things just happen. So, and
Uh,
and then only just buy a book, sponsor book. We want to build huge amount of Lakshmi circulation for uh, BVK's books, and then ensure that lot of Lakshmi is collected. That will help on the farms and other projects Guru Maharaj.
and whatever you can do, if you can distribute few books, Krishna is also pleased. If you can distribute millions, as per your capacity, everyone should try in spreading the mission of Srila Prabhupada. So always you would have some devotees around you in your contact. You can speak with them about the books. They will be happy to take these books and read Prabhupada's glorification. So please try in some way possible. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. 1998, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedan Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Srila Prabhupada, you are the great Acharya whose mission is to save all the souls in the universe. Your drum is now beating in every town and village of the world and in every stratum of society. Those who are active in that mission glorify you at every moment. For the glorification of Sri Krishna necessarily includes glorification of you who gave him to us. Nevertheless, Vyas Puja is a special day for remembrance and glorification of your divine personality, pastimes, and qualities. Today we shall offer homages, flowers, and feast, and hopefully many a tear. But maybe the most important offering your direct disciples can make to you is that of the many souls whom we accept as our disciples. Srila Prabhupada, you told us to do as I am doing. Although all of your disciples are highly elevated souls, by your mercy, all of us together cannot add up to even a fraction of what you are. Just as all the gopis together cannot equal Radha, still we are trying to do as you did, and by your blessing, the Krishna consciousness movement is becoming more and more successful. Doing you doing as you did, I also accept disciples. As you are worshipped, I, the most despicable and mean of your disciples, also accept worship. I am certainly not fit to be worshipped. I deserve to be flogged in the streets. I am not fit to chant Hare Krishna or to wear the tilak mark of devotees or even to have any connection with Krishna or his devotees. But you assure me, yes, this is what you must do. Accepting worship seems an antithetical to Vaishnavism, as everything could be, but you have taught us this culture and the Vaishnav secret that goes with it, offering everything to Guru and Krishna. Don't accept anything on your own behalf. They are singing Samsara Davana Lalida Loka, but it is you, Srila Prabhupada, who receive benediction from the ocean of mercy. It is you who dance in ecstasy in Lord Chaitanya's Kirtan. It is you who teach deity worship and enjoy distributing prasadam. It is you who relish the pastimes of Shri Shri, Radhika Madhav, and are expert in assisting the gopis in the groups of Vrindavan. It is you who directly represents Krishna, and by whose mercy the whole world receives his benediction. It is you, therefore, who are fit to be worshipped as the representative of the Supreme Absolute Truth Person. of Godhead. Like everything else I have in Krishna consciousness, my disciples are gift from you, entrusted into my care to help keep me engaged in your service. I must offer them back to you as Ganga is offered to Ganga. I know nothing, Srila Prabhupada, but what you have taught me, which is everything. I have barely realized a dram of your teachings, but I know they constitute the absolute truth. And I know that by conveying your message to others, they will receive the highest benediction. My duty is to train my disciples to be worthy followers of the Prabhupada line. Only if they properly represent you can I happily present them to you. My success will be in training them to practice Krishna consciousness as you taught it, and to teach them to recognize your unique and unsurpassable position as the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, the vehicle through which Lord Chaitanya's inner desire, Manobhistam, are to be fulfilled. The eulogy will take shape not only as writing on paper, but in the words, actions, and thoughts of my disciples. Therefore, I am presenting some guidelines so that my disciples may become true Prabhupada Nugas. Therefore, I am presenting some guidelines so that my disciples may become true Prabhupada Nugas. I desire that my disciples 1. Be staunch followers of Srila Prabhupada in example and precept. 2. By convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 3. Preach this message with full vigor and confidence. 4th. Become learned in Srila Prabhupada's books. 5th. Follow the process of sadhana given by Srila Prabhupada. 6. Be ideal examples of Vaishnav behavior and dealings. 7th. Not be rascals and renege on their initiation vows. 9. Eighth is missing. 9. Become attached to the holy name of Krishna, both in japa and kirtan. 10th. Not be afraid to present themselves as devotees, both in dress, always wearing Vaishnav dress and tilak, and not hiding behind karmi appearances unless actually necessary, and in principle, not mixing the philosophy with compromises and speculations. 11th, always remain within Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON and not go seeking so called spiritual solution elsewhere. Above all, if my disciples become pure devotee of Krishna, they can deliver themselves and the whole world by your grace. They can also deliver me from the ocean of offenses and inaptitude that blemishes my life, and also make me worthy to be placed along with them among the flowers at your lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada, I am very fallen and lowly servant, battered by Maya, but even willing to keep up the fight by your blessings. Srila Prabhupada, please accept me as an eternal assistant in your mission of bringing millions of jivas to the shelter of Lord Krishna's lotus feet. Let me not be a miser in distributing your mercy. I pray that you always protect me from the madness of becoming a usurper and hypocrite. Even desiring the dust, ever desiring the dust of your feet on my head, the most wretched, Dinahina Kangala Pamara, Bhakti Vikas Swami. 1999. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Dear Srila Prabhupada, most days of the year I offer Guru Puja to you in one of the many temples and preaching centers you have established throughout the world. Nowadays, you mostly manifest yourself in these temples in your beautiful deity form. Although in some places you still preside from the Vyasa Asana in your beautiful picture form. In your temples, you also manifest as your instructions, your books, and the whole way of life and meaning of life for those who reside there. You are manifest within the hearts of those devotees whose heart's desire is only to please you, and you guide such devotees towards Krishna's lotus feet. You guide them by the instructions and inspiration given in your books, and also through the directions given by those of your disciples who have taken up your order to preach and guide others according to your orders. As I offer you Guru Puja, I try to meditate on at least one of these great gifts you have given us, and on how much you mean to us all. Your Guru Puja is an essential part of the indispensable sadhana program you have given us. At Guru Puja, all members of your family come together to acknowledge the gifts you have given us and to confirm your preeminent position in our lives. Daily, as I offer the Arati items to you, I resubmit myself as an eternal servitor at your lotus feet. I pray that you guide me and bless me to fulfill the task I have set myself in your service. That you are already guiding and blessing me is not denied. You are my Guru, and the Guru's function is to guide and bless the disciple. Furthermore, if you're not guiding and blessing me, how could I even be in a position to ask your guidance and blessing? Nevertheless, I daily seek your guidance and blessings, knowing that without constantly looking for your mercy, I may become complacent. If I were to think myself not dependent on your mercy, I would again fall into the pit of suffering you so kindly pulled me out of. I offer the articles one by one, meditating on the limbs of your transcendental body, hearing the prayer composed by Narottam Das Thakur that so aptly and aesthetically describes your divine qualities. I am so small before you, yet my feelings of insignificance mix with the happiness and sense of security that stem from my understanding that you have accepted me. You know my faults and pretensions, yet you have accepted me into your shelter. You want me to be purified, that I am not. Even after so many years of, at least superficially, following your instructions, demonstrate my lack of sincerity and purpose. Yet, you still do not reject me. My happiness in having such a merciful master mixes with shame of not serving you properly. Yet still I prostrate myself before you daily and pray that at least during this day, may my thoughts and activities be properly centered on you. In submitting myself to you, Srila Prabhupada, and begging for your mercy, I cannot but think that you want something from me also. You want me to be your worthy representative and thus become a suitable candidate for manifesting your mercy in the world. Please bless me in this way, Srila Prabhupada. Please allow me to attend your Guru Puja every day for eternity. And please make me an instrument in your mission to spread Krishna consciousness to every home and heart in the world. It is your desire that not a single living entity in the universe be bereft of Krishna consciousness. And it is our desire as your disciples that you be properly honored for establishing ISKCON to give everyone the chance to be Krishna conscious. We want there to be upon thousands of temples of your International Society for Krishna Consciousness, in which thousands upon thousands of devotees will assemble together daily to roar their hearts in appreciation. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, the seed of this Vyas Puja, Srila Prabhupada, the seed of this Vyas Puja offering manifested in my mind while offering Guru Puja to you on your Vyas Puja day 1998 in Zagreb, Croatia, in a hall packed with several hundred devotees. Srila Prabhupada, I am very happy to report to you that your desires for spreading of Krishna consciousness are gradually being fulfilled, even in places where it was not previously thought possible. As I compose this offering, I have just returned from a preaching tour in South India. I witnessed Pejava Swami, the venerable pontiff of the Madhva Sampradaya, publicly declare that ISKCON is the only organization capable of spreading Vishnu Bhakti throughout the world. And in the many prominent Sri Vaishnava temples we visited, the Brahmana priest, without fail, recognized and honored us as member of your great society because of its unprecedented work in spreading Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, your society is now facing severe challenges that during the innocent days of your personal presence we could not have imagined. Nevertheless, seeing the tremendous effect your movement is having throughout the world and how the process of Krishna consciousness is the endurably simple, sweet panacea for the world's problem, we are confident that by your continued blessings, this vitally important Krishna consciousness movement persist in expanding its essential work throughout the world. Srila Prabhupada, please keep always in your movement. May my day and lives go on eternally with Guru Puja and Guru Seva. All glories to your lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada, your servant eternally, Bhakti Vikas Swami. 2000. My dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Vyas Puja is meant for glorification. However, the past year has been previously unthinkable offenses being made to you. Srila Prabhupada, from within your own house is gone. Without redress of these offenses, glorification is superficial and hypocritical. Therefore, I am restricting this offering to reconfirmation of my position as your eternal servant who wants nothing to do with any minimizing or questioning of your self effulgent glories. Many those who cling to your lotus feet ever be rewarded with the nectar of your service. And may those who dare blaspheme you also get their just rewards. Your eternal servant, Bhakti Vikas Swami, I did not submit an offering in 2001. Introduction to 2002 Vyas Puja book. Impersonalist, the pounding of home was Srila Prabhupada's pleasure sport. Consider words inadequate to describe the truth and thus meaningless. Actually, the words of the impersonalists are meaningless. Unfortunately, they do not shut up but continue to spout their meaningless prattle. Devotees also admit the insufficiency of words to define the truth. Still, understanding the ananda of the truth to be not simply a vague sensation, but intimate exchanges of love, devotees employ the choices of words to glorify the supreme absolute truth, who is a supreme loving person. A love that is transcendental and unsullied is indeed the essence of the absolute. And although words cannot suffice to praise him, he nevertheless lovingly accepts sincere attempts to glorify him. As a bona fide acharya in the line of Vyasa, Srila Prabhupada has clearly proved that the Supreme is Krishna, the all-loving person who exists, the all-loving person who exists simply to love, and who instructs that love of him can never be complete without love of his loved ones, and that the worship of his devotees is even more important than the worship of himself. Mad Bhakta Pujya Bhideka. Srila Prabhupada's Vyas Puja festival is thus dear not only to Srila Prabhupada's followers but to Krishna himself. For it is solely meant for honoring this greatest of Krishna's ambassadors of love. Although worship of the Guru may seem irrelevant to the uninformed, excessive to parochial religionist, and repugnant to the envious, profuse praise of the Guru is indeed proper, fitting, and absolutely concordant with the gratefulness dues one's Savior. Certainly, all bona fide delegates of Vyasa are to be glorified, but Srila Prabhupada should be extraordinarily glorified, for he is a Guru extraordinaire. He inherited Lord Chaitanya's gift of being able to give Krishna immediately, even to most wretched persons devoid of any spiritual qualification. And so, although generally a person has to be highly qualified before even beginning to approach Krishna, Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha Yesam Tva Antagatam Papam Bahunam Janmanam Ante. By the grace of Srila Prabhupada, even the most unqualified wretches all over the world were given the chance to approach the Lord. Srila Prabhupada's Vyas Puja book contains loving glorification of him who brought real love to world, so much lacking it, who was himself full of love, and who taught and practically demonstrated by his very life how to love the all-lovable Lord Sri Krishna by being fully surrendered to him in loving devotional service. Within this book are offerings from devotees on various levels of maturity, commitment, and advancements. Submissions by the famous names of ISKCON, seasoned savants, and generals who personally saw and interacted with Srila Prabhupada appear alongside those by devotees whose names and, in some cases, even the cities they preach in are hardly known. Srila Prabhupada's Vyas Puja book contains many sincere prayers, a few literary gems, many personal realization, anecdotes of Srila Prabhupada's pastimes, narrations of Srila Prabhupada's interactions with devotees even today, news of preaching successes and setbacks, and much more. And because Srila Prabhupada movement is inextricably linked to and non-different from His divine grace, this Vyas Puja book also inevitably reflects current events and attitudes within ISKCON. Like the Supreme Lord he represents, Srila Prabhupada defies comprehensive description. Nevertheless, his direct disciples and his grand disciples have attempted in their own way to express what Srila Prabhupada means to them. Devotees who take the time to immerse themselves in these realizations cannot but be moved by the love for Srila Prabhupada and his beloved Krishna that pervades this volume and is the very meaning of the Vyas Puja book and celebration. Bhakti Vikas Swami. We will end reading at page number 169, and from tomorrow we'll read from 2002. Thank you so much for enthusiastically joining in. Um, Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.